you on that pole like Demi Moore, broken in two. They looking at you different cause they know they couldn't choose you. Cause you're too precious to love like this. And I'm too young to ever get hurt like this. And I'm not over you till it's all been said. You're too precious. You're too precious to love like this. And I'm too young to ever get hurt like this. And I'm not over you till it's all been said. You're too precious. Stop deciding, just start relying on me, yeah, here to free you. Don't go too solid, let go, yeah, they oppressing. We got them stressing, we might break through, yeah, it's all timing. Seasons changing, heard you from a mile, I felt that aching in your cries. Preying on a devil in their eyes. Stand by me, I'm tryna strengthen ties. Don't you let them weaken you inside. You're too precious to love like this. And I'm too young to ever get hurt like this. And I'm not over you till it's all been said. You're too precious. Cause you're too precious to love like this. And I'm too young to ever get hurt like this. And I'm not over you till it's all been said. You're too precious.
Greetings everyone and welcome to the casual community. We're going to be doing some streaming today after doing getting back into things. So I'm excited to really experience, embrace, and move on to new avenues. Welcome Chills, welcome Mountain Taker to the casual stream. Today is going to be, well, a casual day. It's Sunday Funday, blue hair, don't care. We're going to enjoy some reading. As you can see, we got some of the scheduled things coming up. Today we're going to do some casually reading of some stuff. We're off the following day, and then we get back into things rolling up to Tuesday and Wednesday, leading up to Friday, which is the first tabletop game that is going to be on this channel. So yay! We're going to have my amazing new Deep Breath content, first official playtest, first time being streamed, and it's going to be a wonderful time with amazing people. Welcome Lizzie to this stream. And I have reached enough followers to be an affiliate. Oh, look at that. Thank you Knights of Silver Moon for the follow, and welcome to the casual community. We're just trying our best to get to affiliate, so I'm pretty close. I just need a few more days of streaming and a few more consistency in my views, and I officially move over to affiliate and I can start doing all the other fancy stuff that Twitch lets me do. So I'm excited for that. I'm also integrated my YouTube, found that out. So I guess my YouTube also allows me to stream from my Streamlabs over there. So yay. I want to give a special shout out to Cody Hill, Teresa Guerrero, Lizzie Donahue, and The Geek Life. You are all subscribed to the Patreon, and because of you, I'm able to keep myself going and keep myself writing, creating amazing content for 5th edition, as well as other amazing stories that you have helped me develop. It is all the contributions that you give that help, keep me going, pays for my artists, and helps me pay other people to help them achieve their goals. So we collaborate casually. I mean, hello, but help doesn't seem inappropriate given this week. Much love, Lizzie. Truly, much love. Love all of you. You have all helped me in many ways, and even though those that do not support me financially, the fact that you're here, or the fact that you're watching this later, is enough support because it helps me get, recognized, acknowledged, and helps me be important, because we're all important. We're all full of love, and we all want to make sure that we feel that love and we share and experience that together. So today's going to be a bit of reading, a few things I want to just put out, a few shout outs as thank yous or other things. So first, right now I am writing my own TTRPG, tabletop role-playing game that is 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons compatible, called Deep Breath. It is my personal RPG that I am working on. It's set in a retro-futuristic high fantasy setting where it's inspired by shonen such as manga, anime, and JRPGs, where you get to explore like cyberpunk enhanced lands of samurai, Victorian blimp being charged by lightning mages, and massive stone-built castles having digital displays instead of tapestry banners, where the land of magic meets the land of technology, where you can walk down the street and see someone writing in a scroll casting magic, and on the other side of the street they could be on their PDA checking the internet. It's been an interesting blend that I've been grateful to be able to work with Dragon Rock RPG Design, who are great at making supplemental content for 5th edition, classes, races, subclasses, and other things to help make your table more powerful and more personal. So you can go ahead and check out their Twitter, follow them on that stuff, contact them, and try to set up a meeting if you have a certain idea. They help me make anime stuff. They've made icons of horror, which is pretty much your Freddy Krueger, your Jason Voorhees, your Michael Myers, and your Jigsaw. Some of your famous horror fans who love these characters, they've made playable subclasses for those. And they have a lot of other things coming up through the pipeline, so be sure to check them out on that. If you all want to stay connected to everything I'm doing, up to date on my updates, and staying connected with me, you can head over to my Discord, where I have my casual community, where we have my casualties. Not like casual ties technically, but it's spelled casualties because that's what matters. Where we communicate, collaborate, and try to grow together as a community. There's a lot of things coming down the pipeline with that, working with some great groups like the Initiative Order and some other great people in amazing many ways. So we got a lot of things coming through, and I want to thank each and every one of you for helping me get to that point. Now, technically, I was going to say you're not here to hear me talk the whole time, but technically, that's what we're here to do. Have a Sunday Funday and explore some story. We were reading something else before, which was a teaser bit, but sadly I couldn't be able to go past that due to the fact the way it was working. And I found out that it is a part 2, and I finally found part 1. The directory was not easy to find. It took some research to find part 1, but I can't acquire it yet. So we're going to change up what we're reading, and we're going to be doing Community College Hero Trial by Fire, which is another great story that I'm excited to be able to, well, share with you and casually just go through the information. Let's head over to that screen. Oh, look at that transition. Just want to say, guys, I have worked tirelessly to get all of these going. Thank you, Quick Adventure Time. That reminds me I need to set up my alert command. I knew there was one more command that I needed to get in there. Because, you know, sometimes people just want to stop in and support, but you don't have the ability to sit at the screen, and I appreciate that all the same. So, as soon as I remember how to do that, I will get that all going. So we are reading Community College Hero Trial by Fire by Eric Moser. And I hope again, when you read stuff, you can only hope that you're pronouncing things correctly, and that's what we're dealing with. For those listening right now, how's the music to my voice right now? I like reading with like a very soft tone underneath, but I don't want, you know, it to start to drown me out or be distracting. She's still gotta be human. Isn't that the struggle where sometimes you still have to do like human things and adult and be a functional part of society? It's the best. Alright, let me get a little hydrated right now. I was hearing music and now I can't? Oh, that's mildly unfortunate because I was hoping that the music would just sit underneath. Oh, we got another follow. Thank you, DM Chris Solo, for the follow, and welcome to the casual community. Oh, you probably couldn't hear it because it was like transferring over to the next sound. Yeah, soundtrack was going. All right, so Community College Hero. They have a great cover art of some what I'm assuming to be characters in this story. All right. Featuring issues 1 through 12 of a 12-issue miniseries. Issue number 1, Where There's Smoke. We got some more of the heroes. Seems like these might be archetypes or characters. Okay. Alright. You instinctively duck and twist just as a column of flame streaks over your shoulder. A black lumpy fist the size of a milk jug bashes your chest and sends you crashing 20 feet backwards into a mid-sized sedan. Gritting your teeth, you struggle to stay on your feet. A blurry gray figure prowls to your left. He eases a glistening sword from its sheath on his hip and takes slow, steady steps in your direction. You're frozen with indecision. Who is the biggest threat? Now I know why Rash asked you lose a bet. Yeah, his reference was to the blue Super Saiyan that I'm going on here, Super Saiyan Blue. When you get put down enough as a Saiyan, you come back stronger. Well, who's the biggest threat? The fire-slinging sociopath, the ham-fisted powerhouse, or the ninja preparing to decapitate me? Oh. Okay. I feel like ninjas are a bigger threat in general. That's just how I feel about it. You can see the fire, try to avoid it. You can try to dodge a fist, but a ninja's like a ninja. You may be right, but if you ignore the others, you'll just die in a different way. Individually, any one of them would present an almost insurmountable challenge. 3 of them working together just means your death will be a nightmare. Your eyes dart from the left to the right as 3 villains surround you. What's your strategy? Okay, I'm not gonna try to talk my way out of this. I mean, I would try to escape. Finding a sliver of space between 2 of them, you leap forward. You're almost through the gap when you feel fingers wrap like steel bars around your ankle. You're launched against a storefront, your limp body bouncing off the bricks. It's over. You have to realize that. There's just no way out of this. As the vultures circle, you raise your head and stare them down, lacking the strength to rise to your feet, but needing to show at least one last shred of defiance. They move slowly. They aren't in a hurry. For a moment, you wonder if they view this as just business, or if they take some kind of perverse glee in toying with you. From what you know of the diabolical dozen, they seem to have mastered the art of mixing business with pleasure. In some twisted way of thinking, you're responsible for this. After all, it didn't have to turn out this way. You could have made different decisions, smarter decisions, but you didn't, and you trusted the wrong person. 2 years ago. Today's the day, the start of your new life. You fantasized about this day since you were 8 years old, diving off the living room sofa with reckless abandon, eliciting a satisfying hiss from your furry nemesis, and you smirked as Kitty Fuzz retreated to your father's recliner. Back then, you didn't realize it could actually happen. It was just a fantasy. After all, what kid doesn't dream about being a hero with fantastic powers? What kid didn't want to be a Z person? As a kid, what power did you dream of having? It's 2 a.m. here, gonna lurk and quietly fall asleep. Stream later next time. No worries, this one's an early one, but there's always gonna be multiple streams for next time. Strength to lift a bus, invisibility, power of flight, shoot lasers, telepathy, force fields. Duh. But those darn force fields never materialized in time to save you from Aunt Margie's kisses. Even though you didn't have any powers, your idols did. Kids in previous generations had to find the heroes in comic books or cartoons. But your generation was the first to have the real thing. Of course, there's a reason for this. The tension between the Soviet Union and the United States had reached a climax in the late 1960s in a Cold War stalemate under the Nixon administration. Each side possessed nuclear weapons capable of devastating the enemy, and the reality of mutually assured destruction forced the U.S. to focus on a new shielding technologies that might have been able to protect at least some American cities from nuclear war. In 1974, the federal government created the first so-called Zenith shields over Washington, D.C., and New York City. Over the next 18 months, Zenith shields popped up over Miami, Chicago, Dallas, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Approximately 20% of the population was purportedly protected from nuclear strikes. But the costs were high. Riots broke out in unprotected cities, and the economy stalled for over a decade. In addition, those living in shielded cities were physically unable to leave. Z cities were arguably safe from nuclear attacks, but they were prisons. An entire generation was born in the Z cities. They grew up never traveling outside their hometowns, but people adapt to change very quickly, and within a few years, most citizens had grown accustomed to their new situation. According to leading scientists, their bodies also adapted to the energies of the Zenith shields that bombarded them 24 hours a day. Based on later studies, it appeared that children absorbed higher concentration of these energies than did as adults. In any case, the Cold War ended in 1992, and the shields came down. Soon after, the heroes emerged. Although some scientists still point to ozone layer depletion or even food additives as possible causes, most leading authorities agree that the energies from the Zenith shields created the first generation of young people with unique abilities that emerged in 1993. These are the heroes you grew up idolizing. The media initially dubbed these heroes Zenith people, which the general public quickly shortened to Zeniths, or Z people, or even just Zs. For the past decade, you've dedicated a somewhat unhealthy percentage of your waking hours towards accomplishing your goal of fighting crime, just like the Zeniths. You know how most people have 3 or 4 hobbies? Well, you have one. You've devoted all your spare time into making your crime-fighting dream become a reality. As it turns out, these long years of conditioning, training, and researching may have finally paid off. You've been accepted to the brand new Heroes Among Us program at Speck Community College, SCC, in Speck, Nebraska. According to the aggressively friendly admissions people, you'll be trained by some of the biggest names in the heroing community, although no specific heroes are identified as faculty members. You'll be able to pursue the Associate in Arts, 4 semesters, and those who excel at SCC may be allowed to transfer to one of the nation's 2 traditional 4-year hero degree programs: Prestige University for Heroes in New York or Savior School in San Francisco. Prestige University for Heroes, founded in 1994 in New York City by the iconic hero Megacat, one of the first self-proclaimed Z people, in conjunction with federal and state agencies, has dominated the hero education industry for most of its existence. Prestige University programs are devoted entirely to hero training and education. No other programs are offered. Since its founding, Prestige has worked with the government to test zeniths and objectively measure their power levels. In 1995, an official power grade scale was adopted. It still serves as the authoritative reference on zenith power levels. Do you want to look at the guide that explains zenith power grades? I mean, knowing an idea of what I'm dealing with, right? Oh, I got an achievement. Look at that. Achievements lets you know you're doing something. Alright, zenith power grades. Each grade represents a power level roughly double that of the previous grade. For example, a grade 2 zenith is roughly twice as powerful as a grade 1 zenith. Grade 1, presumed capable of defeating 5 standard humans, minimum grade needed for the admission at Spec Community College. Grade 2 is presumed capable of defeating 10 standard humans. Grade 3 is presumed of defeating 20 standard humans, the minimum grade for admission to Savior School. Grade 4, presumed capable of defeating 40 standard humans, representative of Advanced Student at Savior School. Grade 5, presumed capable of defeating 80 standard humans, minimum grade for admission into Prestige University. Grade 6 is presumed capable of defeating 160 standard humans, representative of Advanced Student at Prestige University. 7 is capable of defeating 320, with the minimum grade to serve on the faculty of Savior or Prestige. Grade 8 is capable of defeating of 640 standard humans, rumored to be a minimum grade needed to apply for membership in the Diabolical Dozen. Examples include the Hedonist, Captain California, Flock, Lowlife. Constitutes a regional threat. Grade 9 is presumed capable of defeating 1,280 standard humans. Examples include Street Smart, Book Smart, Downfall, Monstrosity X, and Shizukani. Constitutes a national threat. And Grade 10, presumed capable of defeating at least 2,560 standard humans. Examples include Megacat, Lady Ash. Constitutes a global threat. I just want to make a point that the number scale partway through made me think of Neji and like the Byakugan from Naruto. 8 trigons. That's nerd stuff. Sorry. Not sorry. Admission requirements for Prestige are rigid. University PU, to its detractors, accepts only aspiring heroes with grade 5 or higher abilities. The school aggressively pursues those possessing classic powers like heightened strength or invulnerability, speed, flight, energy projection, or matter manipulation. Prestige graduates enjoy special hero status recognized by the federal government and most state and local governments. What do you think of Prestige University? Greetings and thank you for lurking, Stiletto. Always appreciate it. We are reading Community College Hero, Trial by Fire. Prestige University, it is elitist to me. I hate private schools. That's what it feels like to me. Oh, and welcome, Bree. Thank you as well for your lurking. I appreciate everyone who's tuning in to this casual reading as my voice hopefully soothes you into the rest of your day. For the past 2 decades, Prestige faculty and graduates alike have battled against the Diabolical Dozen, the world's premier group of villains based somewhere in southern Florida. I just want to say that they're based in southern Florida, and I feel like that's just a small quip on Florida Man. Just putting that out there. Each member of the Dozen is capable of engaging an entire battalion of highly trained soldiers with little chance of defeat. As a group, the Diabolical Dozen can swat down an entire division, over 15,000 soldiers. No member of the Dozen has less than grade 8 powers. Several of the members, including Lady Ash, are believed to have grade 10 abilities, which constitute a global threat. Despite many high-profile battles between Prestige and the Dozen over the years, including the wildly destructive 2-week siege on St. Louis, 5 years ago, resulting in the destruction of the Gateway Arch, only 2 members of the dozen have ever been captured. Neither revealed any information about their comrades, and both were immediately replaced. According to whispers among the criminal underworld, leadership of the dozen passes to a new member each year. Although all members possess voting powers, ever since the siege on St. Louis, the dozen appears to have toned down their attacks. Things have been relatively quiet in the past 5 years. Megacat credits the tireless efforts of his school in combating the villains and eventually wearing them down. Why do you think things have been quiet for the past 5 years? Cooking dinner and getting ready for HHH. Well, nice Sunday. Oh, honestly, I just had pizza, so I'm pretty set, thankfully. So, enjoy the meal. You've earned it, and be ready for an amazing game I know you're going to have. And I should be done by then, because I'm going to rate that, because I'm going to be a homie helping the homie help the homies. Why do you think things have been quiet? So, I already don't like Megacat, and I don't like Prestige University. I don't like pretentious, I don't like pompous. And that's just where we're at now. Yeah, the Diabolical Dozen is probably just biding their time for some reason. They're the most powerful villains on the planet, and I doubt Prestige has worn them down. Xavier School emerged on the hero training program scene in San Francisco 7 years ago, purportedly to accommodate and train the growing number of Z people being denied admission to Prestige. The founders, twins Booksmart and Streetsmart, publicly criticized Prestige for not accepting more students of diverse ethnicities and sexual orientations. Xavier School promotes a more inclusive admission system, accepting students with abilities classified as grade 3 and up, meaning that young Z people with low tier to mid tier abilities finally had a place to train. Booksmart, widely recognized as one of the smartest people in the world, was recently quoted as saying, "No one, not even Megacat, should monopolize the training of the next generation's heroes. This is not a fiefdom, and he is not a lord. The Diabolical Dozen has terrorized our nation for almost 20 years, and although Prestige has made progress against the Dozen, logic dictates that if Megacat and his colleagues could definitively stop the Dozen, they would do so. We acknowledge Megacat's contributions, but respectfully suggest that a more collaborative approach is needed." Streetsmart added a little to his sister statement, stating only, Mega, expletive deleted, I know what that word is all hiss and no claws. You can quote me on that. And thank you, Brianna Flame, for the follow, and welcome to the casual community. Is that the good-looking, talented, dreamy, casual? Oh, is it? Where? Is he here? Is he in this room? If you guys see him, let me know. I want his autograph. Booksmart and Streetsmart students possess a wide variety of abilities. Many Xavier students can modify their bodies, employ high-level technology, harness the power of their minds to do amazing things, or move in unusual ways, teleportation, gliding, etc. According to unconfirmed reports, Xavier has loaned one of its professors to Spec as a show of support for the fledgling community college program. What do you think of Xavier School? Oh, Lizzie, you see him? Let me know. Next time you see him, let me know. I need his autograph. So, Xavier School seems nicer. I'm gonna go with Booksmart because I'm all about free education. So obviously, I don't like the fact that Prestige has this like monopoly on training heroes. That's like, I want free education, but I also hate when monopolies of capitalism. So that's this. We're building our character here. This is who we are. Even after Xavier arrived on the hero training scene with those grade 1 and grade 2 abilities, still had no place to train. At least not until Spec Community College announced its new program for training low-level Z people. This is the school at which you'll be starting your heroing career. Realizing that no hero can excel in every area, you focused on specific skills and physical abilities to create a unique crime-fighting style. You would describe yourself as here we go, choosing powers. Casual, I swear we discussed this almost exact premise for a script, or am I conflating that with you telling me about this? You were so lucky. It's funny, actually. We did. We had a conversation about going to, hero school and being, like the idea like heroes start to exist, but they're like regular people, so they have to go get trained and educated, and like having a story regarding that story. So far I think we're hitting this already, like a community college hero school. Like we had that conversation. We had to have something like that because I'm remembering this. So, acrobat, where I mix my quickness and agility with decent strength and toughness. Brass knuckles, leather motorcycle jacket, and retractable roller skates. Nah. Sharpshooter. I want to strike from a distance, constantly moving to keep the villains at bay. I'm fast and sneaky too, equipped with a sport slingshot, retractable roller skates, and 2 stealth versions of my uniform. I'm not a very good shot, not gonna lie. These glasses, they don't help. Detective. I have a mean right hook, but my most effective weapons are my stealth and my intelligence. I'm equipped with a micro listening device, 2 stealth versions of my hero uniform, and brass knuckles. So yeah, soldier. With heavy armor, I can charge right into my opponents. I can also attack from a distance. I wear a leather motorcycle jacket worn over my hero uniform and use micro listening device and sports slingshot. So I feel, detective or soldier. Those are the 2 I'm leaning towards. Basically, do I want to be Captain America or do I want to be Batman? I might have to roll a dice on this one. Unless you, watching, have a suggestion. I'm leaning detective or soldier, but I will leave the decision to you. If I'm going to go to a community college where I'm going to train to be a hero, should I lean into my ability to sneak and be smart and still be able to punch? Winter Soldier, JK. I mean, you're right. We're going detective? Alright, so we're going to choose the detective class, which means I feel like it's going to be important to make choices leaning into what I can do, which is stealth and intelligence, meaning focus on sneaking and being smart. But I also have a listening device, and I can be stealthy, but I still can fight. Not as good as a soldier, so I should never make that my first choice, just only if I can't be sneaky. Detective it is. Swallowing hard, you try to balance your nerves and your excitement. You've trained hard, but you've never been able to overcome a glaring weakness that might end up crushing your dreams of being a successful crime fighter. After all, not many heroes have a glass jaw. Getting hurt? Well, it hurts. You're embarrassed to admit that you've been knocked out a few times while competing in sports and other physical activities. You just don't deal well with incoming attacks. On the plus side, you're pretty sure that at least a few other spec students will try to avoid taking a punch as well. Surely you'll make some friends with abilities that can complement your own. Funds will be really tight with only your $2,500 spec stipend to pay your daily expenses for the semester. Thankfully, your scholarship covers your tuition and even your off-campus apartment, where you couldn't even afford to take this opportunity. Facts. Woo! Facts. I get you, character. You as me and we as you. But your weakness is hardly your biggest issue. Lacking any special powers, you're the only normal student in the entire incoming class. You're not a Z person in any sense of the term. Thankfully, in a display of its desire to accommodate all aspiring heroes, SPEC's new program has reserved 1 slot for a student lacking any powers. Still, your natural abilities and low-level equipment just barely justify a grade 1, much less the grade 3 or grade 5 necessary for entry into Savior or Prestige respectively. Your only available route to become a sanctioned hero runs through Spec, Nebraska. Hey, Goober, just checking in and say hello before I go home session. I love you too! One half Dragon Rock RPG design, amazing people who are helping me make the deep breath, which you guys can see the description of that in my panel below, because I updated my panel, if you guys haven't noticed. But hey, maybe some of you don't want to scroll down. Maybe you're on your phone. You know what? That's why I made commands. That's a special shout out to Darren Orion, who is one half of, like I said, Dragon Rock RPG design, who has initially started as helping me get ideas and balancing some stuff I made for my homebrew, my entire TTRPG, and has since evolved from consultants to collaborators to quite undoubtedly partners in this building process, helping me ensure that everything is, well, casually perfect. So be sure to check them out on Twitter, and you can hit up their Instagram from that too, and give them a like, and I'm telling you, connect with them. They made some amazing stuff. I mean, amazing stuff for my content, and you can only imagine what they can do. So, take the opportunity, because they're amazing, and especially Renee. Renee's beautiful. Lovely. You have a good night too, and please give me a TPK. Let me know that you could at least most of them. I'm kidding. I love them all too. Tell them I'm sorry if they heard that. Alright, let me... I gotta work on my hydration skills. Alright. Let's put our water down. You rode a roller coaster of emotions in the past few months. You applied to spec in February and fretted daily about your chances of getting in. The application process was anything but straightforward. You were not allowed to use your real name, address, or any other identifying information in your application materials. Instead, you were directed to label all your materials simply with your hero name. Communications involved a maze of P.O. boxes, clandestine meetings with masked messengers, in predetermined locations, and a few brief conversations on throwaway phones. Since Prestige and Savior have never allowed non-powered students to apply, you anticipated fierce competition for the sole non-powered slot in Specs program. Thankfully, you were able to impress the admissions office with your essay, focusing on your rather impressive accomplishments. Obviously, you included all your major achievements, but which of your accomplishments is most satisfying to you? Casual, love the hair. Thank you, Ferrix. I'm feeling blue and I'm loving it. Can't wait to use channel points to tell you to eat dinner. As soon as I get affiliate, channel points will be a thing, and I already know for a fact I will be getting those did you eat checks, did you drink checks, did you sleep checks. I'm aware. That's all been part of my grand plan. Poor self-maintenance, so when I got channel points, you will abuse them to make sure I'm okay. But no, it's going to be a fun time with that. So, I am... Technically, I can look at my stats, right? I can. Okay, so, right now, I'm a detective with high which, listen, look at these stats, guys. Just highlight this. Pow, zap, thud, whoosh, shh, and yay. So I'm thinking pow is power, like hitting. Zap, well, I don't have powers, so it's probably like range stuff. Yeah, because I already said I have a mean right hook is what they said, so that's power, zap. Thud, that's probably like my defense, because they said specifically my weakness is I can't take a punch. Whoosh, in comic terms, is a sound for moving. It's comic references. Pow, zap, thud, whoosh, sh is stealthing, is thinking, and I think yay is just, I don't know, popularity? And then I have brass knuckles, listening device, and uniforms. Oh, guys, always read everything when you do it. Impressive yay, right? I got a 10. So yeah, pow is strength, zap is ranged attack, thud is defense, whoosh is speed, sh is stealth, means awareness, yay means popularity. I could check relationships, academic resources. I'm just saying, guys, I low-key might, on my next, I might make my next D&D thing. It's like, we're not using strength, dexterity, constitution. No, we're using pow, zap, thud, whoosh, So so smart is my main thing. As a detective, that makes sense. I'm Batman, but I can't take a punch. So I'm more like Batman after he faced Bane. Backbreak. I'm still smart, but it hurts. So I'm gonna stick to my smart, but like. So I see. Boxing would be POW. Special effects would be my my stealth. So we're gonna go with chess. Seems like the smart one. In April, you receive an acceptance letter. Dear aspiring hero, congratulations! Welcome to the Spec Community College Heroes Among Us program. You were selected from over 500 applicants for the sole non-powered slot in our program. Our admissions committee was very impressed with your written essay titled No Powers, No Problem, and we appreciate the special perspective you bring to our incoming class. Winning a regional amateur boxing tournament, a high school district chess tournament, and a regional special effects makeup challenge are all extremely impressive achievements. You should be very proud of yourself. In consideration of your unique disadvantages, SPEC has awarded you a special scholarship to cover your entire tuition, books, and fees, as well as an apartment located close to campus. Your fall stipend of $2,500 is designed to cover food and other miscellaneous expenses. Assuming you maintain at least a 3.0 average, you will be eligible to receive upgraded weapons and equipment to help you close the gap with your classmates. Remember that SPEC is committed to protecting our students' privacy. Use only your codename on all communications with SPEC representatives and in all your dealings with your classmates and faculty. Revealing your identity would risk the safety of other students and would subject you to immediate expulsion. Be aware, SPEC offers over 20 other degree programs ranging from medical transcription to paralegal studies. Our other students are aware of your arrival, but please give them time to adjust. After all, we have heroes on our campus now. Orientation starts on August 18th at 10 a.m. in our gymnasium located in the west wing of Heroes Hall, formerly Smothers Hall. At orientation, you will receive your class schedule and meet your classmates and professors. Enjoy your summer. We look forward to seeing you on campus in August. Sincerely, Dean Meg Tolley. Guys, I made it. I got accepted. Woo! You fold the letter and tuck it back to its envelope. Looking down at the envelope, you run your fingertips slowly over your hero name. The name you see is, they have Urban Ghost, Brawl Doll, Alley Cat, Justice Angel, Mugger, Slugger, and Dark Dodger. So we're gonna custom name ourselves. Alley Cat sounds like a character you'd be in Cats, right? I was an Alley Cat, but I hope to become a Jellicle. So, what is my hero name? I'm thinking, right? Captain Casual. It just, are we vibing with that? Let me know, because that's what I'm feeling here. Casual Justice. Oh, I like that. Oh, you know why that's great too? Because I'm Casual Justice, but like all my my other hero buddies can call me CJ. I love it. And I feel like you said Casual Might, Jeff, because you're thinking like All Might, and I'm here for it. But in everyday life, you're just a person who avoids gender labels, because casual has no gender, neither does justice. Casually Excelsior. Oh, R.I.P. Alright, let's see. My actual name, I think, is what's happening here, right? Yeah. They got some pretty, like, diverse names. So, by the way, now that this has happened, I will be making a character for one of these games, CJ, who is a very underpowered person for an adventure. We're going to make this easy. We're going to just use my name, because why not? Yeah, because then I hope this is last name and I didn't mess up. You agonized over your hero name choice, changing your mind dozens of times. You filled notebook pages with discarded name ideas. Some weren't cool enough. Others were interesting, but a bit too common. In the end, you made the right call. You really believe you can make a difference as Casual Justice. But no one can ever know that Casual Justice is really Jordan Campbell. SPEC's acceptance letter made it very clear that revealing your identity would result in dismissal from the program. Considering that such a benign disclosure could result in dismissal, you wonder how the admission committee would have reacted had you shared your secret family history. You may be the only non-powered student in the class, but your uniqueness hardly ends there. Ooh, dramatic. You'd bet a large sum of money that no other incoming student was raised by a former C-list villain. Oh snap, hold up. Plot twist already. But you can't dwell on that right now. Right now, you need to focus on the present. Right now, you need to get to orientation. As you stuff your orientation materials into a yellow folder, a distant boom rattles the walls. You walk to your window and look outside, but nothing seems to be amiss. Since orientation starts in about 20 minutes, you need to get going. Do you grab any other school supplies before you leave? God, somehow it took you mention CJ to realize you are my man, JC. You know, we do what we gotta do. We just, you know how that works? Casual justice, JC. CJ, JC. That's just the power of branding. It's my superpower. Oh, hold on. My screen did a weird thing on my other side. I want to make sure everything's good over there. There we go. What else do I grab? Do I grab any other school supplies? I'm going to stuff my folder into my black and gold Mega Cat. I hate Mega Cat. I don't do expensive stuff. Yeah, 4-screen backpack. I'm not extra. CJ branded justice. Luckily, Spec Community College is just a quick 10-minute walk from your apartment. Frankly, you doubt that any two addresses in downtown Spec are more than a 10-minute drive apart. Although the city is surrounded by picturesque suburbs and miles of fields and farms. Spec is what you would call a big little city of about 40,000 people. Lots of small, independent businesses dot the tree-lined streets. Drivers are more likely to honk in recognition or greeting than in frustration. Farming, soybeans, corn, sorghum, drives the economy, coupled with some meat packing and grain processing plants. You've read every inch of cityofspec.gov, and although every municipal website paints its area the best possible terms, you've concluded that Spec really is a nice place to live. Crime is relatively low, only 4 or 5 homicides per year, and those usually involve crimes of passion. Random street crime is almost non-existent. You have to admit that it does seem like an odd spot for a hero college, but Spec Community College apparently wanted the prestige and extra revenue the program would bring. Plus, many government officials of certain political parties stress for the need for Z-People training center in the normal part of the country. So what are your first impressions of Spec? So squarely in the Midwest. Oh yeah, this is Midwest all the way. So then you have Prestige in New York on the East Coast, and then you have Xavier School in the West Coast in San Francisco, which I think is compared to like actual Ivy League schools is what they're doing. And I'm terrible at remembering where things are, but I think it's like, what, Yale or something is in like California, and then you have there's like a New York Prestige University that's like Ivy League that stuff. Can't remember them. Terrible at that. So they haven't said where I'm from, and I don't think that matters. I think that's up to me. In my defense, I don't know where any Ivy League school is because I ignored them all entirely. So based on the response that you just gave me, Yale is definitely not in California. Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. I know where Yale is. Yale's the one in Connecticut. Is all Ivy League is East Coast? Look, the more you know. Really, they're all East Coast? I thought there was at least something like that. And what's the West Coast equivalent of that? I guess people count like UCLA and USC, but those aren't great compared to like the Ivy Leagues, because Ivy League is where everybody wants to go. Stanford, that's what I meant. Stanford is like the West Coast Ivy League school, or they try to use that as like a West Coast equivalency. That's what it was. What are my first impressions of Spec? I think it's nice, but I'm a city kid at heart. This is going to be a tough. See, they know. What is sorghum anyway? We're going to just real quick look up whatever that is. Sorghum? It's a type of plant. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Or is it sorghum? Sorghum? It's a 25 plants. I guess it's just a form of grain. Alright. However, not all the residents are thrilled about the new program. Some seem to fear that a hero program will result in dozens of poorly trained students looking for trouble, inserting themselves in every minor incident, and generally causing more damage than they prevent. They might have a point. The governor worked with federal officials to license this third Z-person training center, although most of the legwork and vetting was conducted on the state and local levels. Nebraska and Spec City lawmakers entered the fray, passing dozens of new statutes and ordinances that tightly control students' behavior. Violations of these laws can result in criminal prosecution and possible incarceration. As you walk down East Meadow Avenue towards school, a middle-aged man furrows his bushy brow as you walk by. This is your chance to practice your persona when you're out of public as casual justice. You recognize that the most successful heroes all exhibit a certain persona that sums up their heroic identity. Of course, not one characteristic can really entirely define a person, but building a hero brand can help you stand out from all the other aspiring crime fighters out there. For example, Megacat is a man of few words. Many call him a brooder. Booksmart emphasizes following rules and acting responsibly. She might be called a traditionalist. Other heroes may turn on the charm or crack jokes in their public appearances. So what persona will you try out with a bushy-browed man? Oh man, here it is. Okay, so now it's time to develop a persona? Ugh. Being a hero is hard. I have 4 options. Am I going to be a charmer, a jokester, brooder, or a traditionalist? I don't think I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be a brooder. I don't know. Brooding just doesn't feel like casual justice. I don't want to be a charmer because that can come off creepy. I would hate if a hero constantly was looking good, blah blah blah, just in passing. But then again, you just have to do it right. But jokester is very... No one takes you serious. I'm such a cynic when it comes to hero personality types. I don't even like the options. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna roll a die, because I don't know. However, those watching, listening, if you have a choice, we'll start with it. You can choose charmer, jokester, brooder, or traditionalist, and for the playthrough, I will do my best to follow it. I mean, I feel like good morning citizen is something you would say. So we're going to try to follow traditionalist. That is the path we shall follow, or we will try to follow. So as this bushy-browed man comes by me, I'm going to be a traditionalist. Good morning, citizen. Doo-doo. He stares at you as if incapable of speech. His reaction isn't surprising considering he's probably never met a costume hero before. That's right. Since you're on your way to orientation, you're obviously in full uniform. You don't have the time to extend the conversation, so you keep on walking. By the way, what sort of uniform did you pack? So, am I a sleek and traditional spandex bodysuit? Head-to-toe leather to intimidate villains? A machine-washable sweatsuit with casual justice on the chest? A revealing outfit covering just enough to avoid arrest? A martial arts robe? A hoodie and jeans, since a traditional uniform seems unnecessary? Or a trench coat like the 1940s detectives used to wear? So what is casual? Like, I would almost say a sweatsuit, but like hoodie and jeans. I feel like if I was a hero, I would just be a dude. No, because I would just be like, let me get my jeans, let me get my shirt, let me just step out this house. I definitely won't do a spandex bodysuit. I'm not doing head to toe in leather. That's painful in heat. I'm not doing a revealing outfit. That's how you get burned. Martial arts robe feels too meh. Alright, what are we thinking? Our option is a machine washable sweatsuit with casual justice on it, hoodie and jeans, or a trench coat like the 1940s detectives used to wear. Once more, my beautiful, beautiful casuals You are all part of my casual ties. What are we feeling here? Because I'm not... You are. You're right. I'm strong with my branding. The sweat, having casual justice on my chest. I feel like if I was a hero, like became a hero now, I would put hashtag casual justice just so people would hashtag me. Granted, I am going with the detective persona. Well, okay, so right now I'm a detective, I'm a traditionalist. So I think a machine washable sweatsuit is not a bad option to go with. Because I could still be but it's hard to be a detective when you wear a shirt that has your name on it. You know? Like, that's really, I can't be super sleuthing, get caught, and they're like, who are you? And they just see casual justice. And it's like, ooh, well, okay, so you know who I am. But, stop it. So that is a very valid point that's been made, Lizzie. So I'm going to go with the trench coat. Oh, that's why the hoodie and jeans makes more sense. Oh, damn. You see the challenge? These three are probably the best option for where we're going with this character, where we are a traditionalist. Okay, I think the casual justice is way too pompous, is what I'm leaning on. As much as I like the branding, I would brand... That would be great if I was being more of a charmer, but I'm not a charmer, and I think that's the key. A charmer is the one who will put their name. I'm being traditionalist. Maybe even a jokester from time to time. And if I had a logo, that's what it is. If I had a logo, I'd wear it. So, what I'm going to do is I think hoodie and jeans, because trench coat is is unnecessary. Hoodie and jeans. Thank you, Lizzie, for helping me get through that hard challenge. Oh, more stuff like that. All spec students are required to wear masks to protect their identities. Some variation is allowed, but since students will be attending classes, studying, eating, and socializing while in uniform, certain options like full masks just aren't viable. What does your mask look like? Or you are so good at detectiving you don't need to be private, right? See, the best way to sneak around is to blend in, but the best way to be a detective is to stand out. If everyone's looking at you, no one realizes what you're doing. Right? That's how it works. Alright, so I said I'm wearing hoodie and jeans. So, a basic domino mask. I think that's just the eye component thing is the domino mask. But then there's a hood paired with it. I don't think I want a hood. Well, the thing is, no, because I'm picturing me like this now. Like, if I were to be a hero, I would just change my hair color. And then, like, when it's non-hero mode, I will take the color out and put my hair back into an afro. Like, that would be what I'd have to do all the time. I'm not going to do a full mask. Because I think a full mask, except for eyes and mouth, is like Batman's mask. Or the Flash or so on. No, wait. There's a full mask covering all but my eyes and mouth. But then a classic half mask exposing my mouth, jaw, and bottom of my nose. That's kind of like Hawkman and, who else has masks that only cover, like, the top half of their face? Because I'm not picturing many of them that do just, like, the half top. But then there's a helmet with a built-in visor. So that's, like, I think like a soldier's helmet with the visor drop down. Kind of like, Judge Dredd. And then oversized goggles, which is just gross in its own right. I think if I'm going to wear jeans and a hoodie... Right? Is that what I said I'm wearing? Yeah, I'm already becoming a traditionalist. I forgot what I'm wearing already. Oh, it doesn't tell me? Oh, no. Ordinary street clothes. So, like... Listening to this while working in my yard, please share this with me later. It sounds like so much fun. Absolutely. I will send you the direct link, Mountain Tiger, for you to check out this specific story, so you can check that one out. There's plenty of good ones I saw. So I saw Community College Hero and thought it was a fun title. I told myself not to read any of the description, just go off the title, and this is pretty good. I'm going to wear a domino mask because I'm wearing a t-shirt, some jeans, and I put on a mask. Like, I woke up this way. I wake up, put on my normal clothes, and then put a mask like, alright, look, you know who I am. Who cares? What color scheme did you choose? Ooh, color scheme. So we got Batman, we got Captain America, we got red and gold for Iron Man. So we got Batman, Captain America for red, white, and blue. Iron Man, red and gold. Green and purple for Hulk. Pink with black trim. Is there a hero that wears pink? I can't think of what hero wears pink. I don't think there is one. I think they just did that for their own thing. Because these first four, I know they're referencing specific heroes. But then white and silver is generic enough where you have like Moon Knight and other individuals like that. Orange and yellow is an interesting color. I don't know who is orange and yellow. But I think I would be wearing like black jeans and like a pink t-shirt with a black domino mask. That's what I'm picturing. Like coming in with my like even better. This how we're picturing right now. Casual Justice wears like some Stacey Adam black dress shoes with pink laces. Wears like black joggers with pink trim. But then we're going to have like a pink shirt with like black trim on it. But it's a button up. And wears like a vest on top of that. Like, we're suited. When they say suit up, we really suit up. We even got that tie just to put on just in case. And I got my domino mask. That's what we're doing here. We're going pink and black. What extra touch do you add? A cape? I keep saying this. And I will say it over and over. No capes. Okay? This is not me giving advice. This is not me giving you a hint. Do not use capes. That is a trap. Edna Mode made a point. No capes. Lots of pouches. A cool belt with Casual Justice on the buckle. There it is, Lizzie. The branding. We can still do it. We can still brand. So I can wear my suit. I'm just saying, guys, officially, we just look like my art on the screen right now. That's who he is. Just change the glasses for a domino mask. And you got Casual Justice. That's it. We did it. It even has some storage compartments. Blaring sirens and flashing lights interrupt your daydreaming. 2 squad cars with SPD's finest fly around the corner toward your apartment. They slow at the intersection, chirping their sirens again as they roll through, then accelerate down East Meadow Avenue. You arrived in Spec almost 3 weeks ago, and this is the first time you've witnessed police actually responding to something. What do? Either orientation starts in a few minutes, I don't have time to take a detour, or isn't this why I want to be a hero? I need to try and catch up with the police. I'm nosy. I feel like I shouldn't be nosy as a traditionalist, but like, I'm nosy, guys, and I want to know what's going on. It's my flaw. You accelerate as the patrol cars keep accelerating. Beads of sweat roll down your forehead, stinging your eyes. This is going to be tough. What's your strategy? I can either follow the patrol cars or determine the patrol car's destination and make a shortcut. Guys, this is it. This is the moment. I'm a detective. I can determine where the police cars are going and hit a shortcut. Boom. First time we made a decision that made sense. Thankfully, you've studied maps of downtown Spec, familiarizing yourself with the area around your apartment. You work smarter, not harder, ducking through alleys and crossing parking lots until you reach the scene. The cruiser screeched to a halt outside Burgers and Rings, a favorite local hamburger joint featuring white painted brickwork, a 2-lane drive-through, and a huge onion ring statue out front. The 2 officers exit their cars simultaneously and draw their weapons as they rush to the entrance. Anarchy reigns in the parking lot. You see a heavy-set woman in purple shorts holding her face with both hands. Something red trails down her neck. A mother soothes the blonde head of her toddler, clamping her hug ferociously around him. Dozens of other customers populate the parking lot. There's howling, wailing, sobbing, sounds you've never heard other people make before. A woman in a short-sleeved white dress shirt holds up her hands and speaks frantically to the officers. The police holster their weapons as the manager points to the back of the building. You look in her indicated direction and notice a thick trail of smoke dancing skyward. The officers follow her around the corner, out of your line of sight. Do you creep closer to get a better look? Yes or no, I should go to the orientation. Like, honestly, at this point, I'm already neck deep. Achievement, Super Sleuth. Successfully investigate the attack on burgers and rings. And you're successful. You creep to the corner of the restaurant. A fast food parking lot in broad daylight offers you little cover. But the presence of so many customers, coupled with the oversized pickup trucks favored by the locals, allow you to move closer. The back windows of the restaurant are shattered. Glass shards blanket the asphalt. A message is crudely sprayed painted on the white bricks. The black letters are easy to read against the white background. You are what you eat, but you can't see your feet. So stop eating meat. Instead, choose a beat. Under the message are two other words. The Contrarian. You glance to your right and notice something brown and furry in the asphalt about 30 feet away. Cocking your head, you notice the object doesn't move. You squint and determine it's definitely not an animal. Wait, is it hair? A wig, maybe. One of the officers examines the message and then turns to her partner, spotting you in the process. Not yet having dealt with the police, you conclude this wouldn't be the best time to start. As you start to pivot, you hear a soft whooshing sound to your right. Jerking your head to follow the sound, you immediately notice the brown thing on the ground has disappeared. Bolting away, you ponder what just happened and pray you won't miss too much of the orientation. When you finally reach campus, your worst fears are confirmed. Only two rather unimposing spec security guards remain outside the main building. One smokes while the other watches a squirrel with the intense interest typically reserved for those on safari. Your fingers reach for your school-assigned dumb phone. There's no data plan, but the clock works just fine. The display confirms you are 5 minutes late on your first day. Not a great start. You briskly walk past the guards and open the entrance door. Hearing the buzz of conversation down the hall, you race towards the noise and open the gym door. It's time to meet your classmates. The gym features traditional wooden bleachers on the near side. 4 rows have been extended out onto the floor, providing at least 10 times the seating actually needed to accommodate the 25 or 30 students in attendance. By invisible agreement, most students sit 5 or 10 feet from one another, providing lots of buffer zones. You quickly pick a spot on the edge of the second row and sit a few feet from a skinny guy wearing glasses over his half mask. His hair seems to shoot in 6 different directions at the same time. Left, right, up, down, back, and forward. He gives you a polite nod as you sit. You crane your neck, looking around at some of the students in your area. Are you more interested in checking out the girls or the guys? Girls, guys, checking out everyone. It comes to attraction, it's more about the person than the gender, and neither. I'm just saying, casual justice is here to love everybody equally. I'm checking out everyone. There are certainly some cute, aspiring heroes and heroines at Spec. You wonder if you'll get the chance to date any of them. A student in an obscenely bulky armored suit sits in front of you on the front row. The back of the armor resembles a huge brown turtle shell over 4 feet wide. Every time the student makes the slightest move, the bleacher creaks in protest. Tapping your limited knowledge of weights and measures, you estimate the armor to weigh at least 1,000 pounds. Feeling bold, you tap the student's shoulder. Surprisingly, he somehow feels your tapping because he quickly turns around. You smile and greet him. Hey, what's up? I'm Casual Justice. Cool armor. Oh hey, I'm the Combat Wombat. His face is friendly with a small nose and round cheeks. He wears mechanical-looking goggles to conceal his identity. I like your green backpack. Combat Wombat. Did you hear that right? How do you follow up on that? This also might be another good chance to practice your persona with a classmate. At Rona Fox, what's up, brother? Did Rona come in and lurk and not say anything? How dare you? So maybe I'll charm him. So we've been doing, we have brooding, joking, charming. Hey brother, came for Casual's beautiful face, stay for the soothing voice. You know, that's how I get them. I lure them in a false sense of security with my smile, and then I lock them in with a casual voice. So we are going to stick to the traditional route as much as possible for this. So, I'll just play this straight. I don't know much about wombats. Care to educate me? He nods and launches into a diatribe about his namesake. You see, the wombat, his explanation is interrupted as the bleacher violently groans beneath his crushing weight. Wombat excuses himself and rises to stand beside the bleachers. You turn your attention back to the gym floor. A few people you assume are professors sit in simple metal fold-out chairs. A man with the skin color of marble is rocking an immaculate navy single-breasted suit. He leans in and whispers to the woman sitting beside him. The woman, wearing glasses 3 sizes too large for her long, narrow face, smiles broadly and raises a hand to cover her mouth. She then looks up to scan the students restlessly inhabiting the bleachers. She gives you a stern look, pursing her thin lips. You thought you had managed to slip in relatively unnoticed, but apparently she noticed you arriving late. Not the best first impression. A severe woman in a futuristic battlesuit sits on the other side of the marble-skinned man. Based on her scowl, you anticipate she will bludgeon him to death with her steel chair if the program does not start soon. An odd figure in purple cloak glides in seemingly random circles around the chairs. You can't determine the person's gender nor age. No facial features escape the hood's shadow. And a plump woman in her early 50s bursts out from the equipment room and waves both her hands at the audience. 2 basketballs and a volleyball roll out before she can close the door. She trots up to the podium, which for some reason is marked North Spec High, and adjusts the microphone downward. It's always best to start with a joke. She smooths her coral jacket and grins, as if already amused by the punchline. So, I asked the dean of Prestige High School for Heroes, Megacat, to fly out here to lovely Speck, Nebraska to say a few words. The mere mention of Megacat's name causes a buzz to ripple through the small crowd of hero students. The woman blinks. Oh, no, he's not coming. It's just a joke. Where was I? Okay, so I asked Megacat to fly out and say a few words. He asked me, where's Speck? So I said, Nebraska. And he's like, where's Nebraska? She smirks before continuing. So I ask him, well, where's New York? Awkward silence follows. One of the basketballs continues to roll across the gym floor. One student back yells, New York in the house! The others glance sideways at one another, and the woman clears her throat. Anywho, I'm Dean Meg Tolley, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to Speck Community College brand spanking new Heroes Among Us program. Those words elicit an energetic response from the audience. A high-pitched woohoo assaults your left ear. A girl sitting beside you dressed as a pink fairy meets masked swordsman tries unsuccessfully to start a Let's Go Speck cheer. Many just clap loudly. How do you respond? Traditionally, so the jokester one is, this is the orientation for the paralegal studies program, right? I can gravitate my hips, which seems like charming. I can cross my arms looking totally disinterested, which is brooding. I'm going to stand and clap politely, because I'm a traditionalist, and we will be as traditional as possible. Dean Tolley introduces the faculty. The lady with the big glasses is Sandy McCormick, a local attorney. The marble-skinned man is the hedonist, a professor on loan from Xavier School. The severe woman is Downfall. You think you've heard of her before. She's a New York hero, although you're not sure if she attended Prestige. Finally, the cloak figure is introduced only as Nil. Which professor do you think is most interesting? Ooh. So I already told myself I hate everything about Prestige, but no one's Prestige. Because Hedonist is from Xavier School. He's a marble man who's apparently charming. McCormick is an attorney. Professor Downfall is a badass. And Nil is a shadow figure. I think Nil's interesting, but something about Downfall, a badass female hero who looks like she can literally murder the room. I'm here for it. Yeah. I think Professor Downfall. After the professors are introduced, Dean Tolley pulls out a wadded up piece of notebook paper from her jacket. First on today's itinerary is a special little field trip. The dean sings the last two words, but it's a surprise. We've broken you up randomly into 8 teams of 4 students each. Come down to the table, she says, pointing to a small folding table on the gym floor, to get your name tag and team assignment. The teams are labeled A through H. Take a left out the gym doors, she motions again, head all the way down the hallway, and take the rear exit to the faculty parking lot. Find the van marked with your team letter. I'll see you in a bit. You stand and step down to the next bleacher level, patiently waiting your turn as everyone crowds the table. A girl with big blue eyes and wavy blonde hair, dressed as either a narwhal or a unicorn, sticks her name tag on her horn and skips down the hall. You wonder whether her tag will actually stay attached. Grabbing your Casual Justice name tag, you search with your index finger on multiple lists until you find your name included under Team B. You scramble down the hallway, stopping only to pick up Narwhal Girl's name tag and return it to her. It's time to meet with the B-teamers. Professor McCormick greets the Team B members in the faculty parking lot. She adjusts her glasses, not quite making eye contact with anyone, as she reviews the document on her clipboard. Okay, people. We're gonna go to Tyler Park for a little team building exercise. I just need to make sure we have everyone here before we hit the road. Let me know when I call your name. Tress? A pale redheaded raises her hand. You're not sure why she felt the need to do that in a group of 5 people? Tress makes eye contact with everyone before she speaks, seemingly comfortable with this group of strangers. I'm Tress, and I just want to say that I'm super excited to be here. You can't help but notice that Tress has both the shiniest hair and the pointiest nose you've ever seen. She wears a clingy green bodysuit with small cutouts running down her arms and legs. She looks to be about 20 years old. For some reason, she reminds you of a ballet dancer. Something about her just seems very fluid, like one of those swirly post-impressionist paintings. Do you say anything to her? There's brooding. See, that's why I don't like Charmer. That outfit's pretty hot, doll, and so are you. Like that? That's the type of hero don't ever be. Don't be that person. Don't be that guy. Or girl. Don't be that person. Just don't. Okay? Leave that to Deadpool. But then I guess there's the jokester. And that might have been the jokester, because you can do, oh, your hair is so pretty. You should be on one of those shampoo commercials where the woman dramatically tosses her hair back and it bounces around and she looks just incredibly happy to have such nice hair. I'm going to go with, I smile politely and say, it's a pleasure to meet you, Tress. That's a cool name. She grins. People tell me it's appropriate, considering my powers and all. McCormick's eyes dart around as if trying to determine the name's owner before he or she gets a chance to speak. Stunner? Hey. An imposing slab of humanity flashes an unassuming smile at the group. His golden armor glistens in the early morning sun. Yeah, anyway, I'm Stunner. It's cool to meet y'all. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to kick some... His voice trails off, as if sensing McCormick's imminent disapproval. Some butt. His violent high five to the weirdly dressed girl catches her off guard. At the last second, her hand shoots up to deflect a potentially closed head injury. If Tress is the team's ballerina, Stunner is the linebacker. Do you say anything to him? Yes. Where is the... There it is. There's some good options here, but we're just going to read the ones I'm going with. I just shake his hand firmly, looking him in the eye and say, a pleasure, Stunner. Hello, love. I lurk. Thank you, Pawn Plays, for still tuning in. I appreciate all the lurk. I appreciate all the support. As I shake his hand firmly, a pleasure, Stunner. Stunner returns your shake and your eye contact. Good to meet you, too. A nice handshake. The professor pipes up again. Okay, then. Casual Justice? How do you respond? So I want to say, I want to, yes, the one and only. I wink at the others, including Professor McCormick. No. You can be some of these options are great. But I am going to be the traditionalist. Hey everyone, I'm Casual Justice. It's nice to meet you all. I look forward to being a part of the team. Stunner nods. Good to meet you too. I've got a good feeling about this team. The girl with the strange fashion sense smirks up. Aren't you the nice little polite one? Is this right? McCormick peers at her list. Dirty girl? The oddly dressed girl smiles. Guilty as charged, she says. I don't know why I gave her that accent. I guess that's what we're doing here. And before anyone, as she immediately looks in Stunner's direction, says anything about my name, it refers to my powers, okay? Well, that, and I like getting a rise out of people. You don't doubt her last remark. She wears a retro leather aviator's helmet as if she is expecting at any moment to leap into a World War II fighter plane. Her goggles are pulled down over her eyes, strands of blue hair poke out from under her helmet. She wears a black t-shirt with the message, "Getting Dirty," on the front, along with gray and purple tartan shorts and an oversized buckled black boots giving a new definition to the word clunky. Dirty Girl isn't your stereotypical spandex-clad heroine. Before you can say anything to Dirty Girl, Professor McCormick taps her clipboard with her pen. Okay, Team B, hop on the bus. We'll discuss details on the way. Let's go. As it turns out, the Dean's assigned team building exercise is really a game of capture the flag. Team B will face Team H in the north portion of the park. Standard rules apply. The play area, roughly twice the size of a football field, provides adequate tree cover. A pond approximately 100 feet across marks the midfield point. Orange cones designate the midfield line as well as other boundaries. 2 members of each team will play defense but must stay at least 30 feet from their own team's flagpole unless they are pursuing an opposing team member. The defenders can capture an opposing players once the opposing players cross over the midfield line. A 2-hand touch is needed for a capture, although powers, equipment, and weapons can all be used as well. Captured players must walk over to the jail tree and keep one hand on the tree until another friendly player finds them and frees them with a 2-hand touch. McCormick taps her clipboard again. Okay, listen. Listen up because this is important. Personally, I think this is the stupidest idea imaginable. Sending brand new students out to a city park to blast or punch or whatever you all do to each other is just asking for a lawsuit. She pauses until everyone is making eye contact with her. Do not, let me repeat, do not damage municipal property. That means trees, bushes, benches, birds, grass. I'm guessing no one read the hero liability insurance policies we mailed to you back in June. She continues without waiting for a response. Well, those policies include certain exclusions that negate coverage for certain actions you may or may not take. It's complicated, but for today assume that you may end up paying for any property damage for any person you hurt. Got it? Okay, you had all better figure out who's doing what. By the time McCormick has concluded her diatribe, the bus has already covered half the distance to the park. Team B's strategy session will be short and intense. Stunner speaks up, clearly taking the leadership role. Okay, before we decide positions, we've got to figure out what everyone can do. Tress? I have telekinetic control over my hair. I can even make it grow like 20 feet. Watch! 4 pairs of eyes focus on the redhead as she whips her hair to the unoccupied back half of the bus. Orangish red torrents of hair whip from her head, flowing over seats and into the aisle floor. Her gaze intensifies and long strands of hair stand up from the floor like dancing cobras. She flips her head back and within seconds her hair retracts to its normal shoulder length. Stunner sums up the thoughts of the group. You're on offense. Hell, girl, you could probably grab that flag that way. Then he looks at you. Okay, Casual Justice. What exactly do you do? What do you say? Nah, I'm gonna be up for it. Because I am awesome. I am Casual Justice and I don't have powers. You admit you have no powers, but assure them you are armed with basic equipment. Stunner looks, well, stunned. No powers, huh? He asks. You must be that scholarship kid I heard about. It's cool. Dirty Girl strokes her chin. No powers? That's pretty brave of you. Or insane. One of the two, she comments. We'll have to figure out which. Stunner explains to the team that he can create shockwaves by clapping his hands together. Combined with his natural strength and speed, his abilities make him a natural offensive player. Dirty Girl gives a brief demonstration of her powers as the bus pulls up to the park. She points her finger outward. Thick puffs of smoke ooze from the pores of her skin. Within seconds, smoke fills the bus, reminding you of a poorly licensed honky truck. A coughing fit seizes the driver, who narrowly avoids drifting over the curb. I can make tons of it, Dirty Girl promises. So thick no one can see through it. Other than me, I'm used to it. And I wear these, she adds, tapping a finger to her goggles. Stunner seems pleased. DG, you're on defense. That other team won't even find our flag, much less take it. Then he adds, almost as an afterthought, casual justice. You're with DG on defense. McCormick motions for the team to exit the bus. Do your best, don't hurt anyone, don't damage anything, don't take any unnecessary risks. She smiles and adds, oh, and try and have fun. Quick hydration before we read the next page. You and Dirty Girl trudge over Team B's flag to coordinate the defense. She immediately scampers in a circle around the flagpole, concealing it in an impenetrable fog. You know you don't have much time before the game starts. What do you do? I'm not gonna I'm detective, I'm sneaky, and I'm smart. So I'm going to hide behind some bushes and change into my forest stealth uniform. You dig through your duffel bag and pull out your forest camouflage outfit. The uniform looks similar to those favored by hunters, with dark greens, tans, and dark browns. It even features a corresponding domino mask. You won't be invisible, but you'll sure to be tougher to spot than Dirty Girl romping through the park in black and purple, or Stunner running around in shiny golden armor. The switch takes a few minutes as you struggle with snaps, zippers, and buckles. In the middle of your wardrobe transition, you hear Dirty Girl snicker, "Nice undies!" You just don't have time for a clever retort. The game will start any minute, so you focus on getting changed. A whistle blows from the midfield vicinity, and the game is on. Dirty Girl eases back behind a tree, staying as close to the flag as rules permit. You've taken a similar position on the opposite side of the flag and wait, listening intently for any sign of the other team. A minute passes, nothing. Another minute passes, no sign of the other team. Dirty Girl hisses to you, "Where are they?" Before you can reply with a shrug, you spot a flutter of motion between two towering cottonwoods. Something resembling a huge sheet of newspaper flips and flaps in the air, making a soft rustling sound. The paper glides close to Dirty Girl's fog cloud. The paper speaks in a high-pitched voice. "No fair! Crook, they're cheating, aren't they? I think they set it on fire or something." You squint at the paper person as it flutters into the shape of a short girl clad in flowing white robes. "Crook!" she yells. "Crook!" A green-cloaked guy eases out of a nearby brush, angling his head in a series of jerks as if to overcome his hood's grip on his peripheral vision. He seems to have a stocky build, but nimble feet. You spot some sort of pouch on his chest containing what appear to be throwing knives. The cloaked man speaks to his paper-thin companion. "Geez, Origami, can you be a little louder? You're blowing my cover." They lower their voices as the man called Crook points to the cloud. Dirty Girl motions to you from behind a tree, making a stop gesture with her open hand. Crook trudges closer to Dirty Girl's smoke cloud, seemingly unaware of your position. What do you do? Well, I'm in my forest uniform, so what I'm going to do is I'm not fast, I don't have any range stuff, so I'm going to circle around and try to sneak closer. The brush provides you adequate cover, and you deftly step over a few dry branches that could have signaled your presence. You spot Dirty Girl easing closer to Origami as well. She gives you yet another of those fist signals. You're really going to have to review hand signals after this game is over. Only about 50 feet separate you from Origami, who nervously flaps in a circle or like a newspaper caught in a vortex. Crook remains in a smoke cloud. What do you do? I sneak even closer. Your agility and stealth serve you well. The trees and brush provide adequate cover, allowing you to sneak within 10 feet of the flapping paper girl. You slowly slip into the clearing and tap Origami on the back with both hands. Origami flips around, grumbling, "Darn it, you're really quiet." She pauses. "Are you a ninja?" Before you can respond to her flattering question, her partner eases out of cloud. His eyes narrow as he quickly assesses the scene. Gripping your team's flag tightly in his gloved hand, he sneers, "Well played, for all the good it'll do you." He quickly pivots, heading for the midfield, but he doesn't get very far. Dirty Girl grabs his cloak from behind and twirls it around his face. As Crook blindly thrashes, she extends her clunky boot across his ankle, sending him sprawling to the ground. The man lands with a heavy thud. Dirty Girl hops over his body and tags him with both hands. Tag. This is why I say no capes, people. No capes. Crook would have been fine if he didn't wear a cloak with a cape. Crook and Origami appear to be good sports as they both trudge over your little jail tree. Crook eyes Dirty Girl up and down, a sly smile on his face. I think I like your style. You can almost imagine Dirty Girl winking behind her tinted goggles as she simply replies, I get that a lot. While your captives reach jail, your partner grabs your arm. Come on, kid. Let's go help tangle and muscle with this thing. You and Dirty Girl sprint to the pond, marking the midpoint of the field. Up ahead, you hear yelling. Then a boom rattles the ground under your feet. Ducking under a few low branches, you scramble ahead, outpacing Dirty Girl in her clunky boots. You swing around a particularly large pine tree and land right in the thick of battle. Stunner slaps his meaty hands together, resulting in a tremor that knocks the skinny boy in his butt. The boy shakes his head to clear the cobwebs, losing his eyeglasses in the process, and then rolls away from Stunner. Tress has grasped Team H's flag with her telekinetic tendrils and literally skips up to you. Hey, look what I have. Wait a minute. You're supposed to be on defense. Who's guarding her flag? She says. Dirty Girl arrives and scolds Tress for her hesitation. Just go! We captured both their other players. Just go back to your territory and we win! Unwilling to risk further admonishment. English. Tress breaks into a run, her hair whipping behind like a runaway bridal train. Your eyes return to the battle. Even though Tress has Team H's flag, Stunner continues to attack the skinny kid. Stunner snatches the skinny boy by his collar and picks him up with one hand. I think we've got this. The boy loudly protests. Hey, this is supposed to be a game. We're not trying to kill each other. Stunner casually, tosses him aside, and then the boy lands on the ground with a thud. Then Stunner jerks his head, focusing on Team H's other defender, a small, dark-haired girl wearing a simple gray sweatsuit. Stunner marches over in her direction. Are you playing or what? Just lay down if you aren't. The girl turns her face to him, but continues to stand there. I said lay down, repeats Stunner, extending his arms for another thunderclap. The girl's arms remain limp at her sides. The skinny kid struggles to get up, yelling, Stoic! Get away from him! What do? I'm weak. I'm just gonna yell at... Yeah, I'm gonna just yell. She doesn't react at all. The world vibrates when Stunner's hands slap together. Your teeth rattle. Two birds on a branch nearby zip away for higher ground, but the girl still stands there staring at him. She holds one of her arms absently minded and rubs it up and down. Are you finished? She asks. A whistle sounds from the midfield area, signaling the end of the game. Team B has won. So why aren't you more excited? We won. Everyone exchanges the high fives, hugs, and compliments that generally follow a team victory. Thanks to Dirty Girl's earlier smoke demonstration, the bus smells of burnt toast, but no one complains. Tress beams as Stunner brags about her performance to Professor McCormick. Stunner also brags on himself, apparently not confident in Tress's ability or desire to reciprocate. Dirty Girl pats you on the shoulder. Any squabbles during the game are quickly forgotten. At least half of the Heroes Among Us program is crowded around the flat-screen television in the lobby of Heroes Hall. You maneuver around to the edge and crane your head out for a peek at the screen. The bronze and coiffed news anchor introduces the story with a dry reverence, his heavy eyebrows furrowed as he speaks. Come on, hydrate. WSPK-11 now has more details on the shocking bombing of the Burgers and Rings on East Meadow Avenue this morning. We'll go live to Tammy Tolliver at the scene. Derek, the community is stunned by the bombing which injured 8 customers, 2 seriously. Authorities now confirm that the bombing took place at approximately 9:40 this morning when a woman threw a pipe bomb through a back window. The bomb contained nails designed to act as shrapnel. SPD officials say that the injury toll would have been far worse had the bomb penetrated further into the restaurant. Tammy moves with her camera, gesturing crisply to the back of the restaurant from her vantage point 50 feet away. She continues, stating, An eyewitness describes a suspect as a thin individual with medium-length brown hair wearing a black shirt and jeans. The suspect is believed to be female. Officials are stunned at the boldness of this crime, pointing out that the suspect committed this act in broad daylight on a busy street and apparently spray painted a message on the back of the restaurant before throwing the bomb into the restaurant. Tammy reads the message off her notes. You are what you eat, but you can't see your feet. Stop eating meat and choose a beat. The reporter delivers her next line with the histrionics unique to small television markets. The message is signed by someone calling themselves the Contrarian. So the question on the minds of Spec residents are, what does the Contrarian want? Is there a connection between the attack and the opening of Spec Community College's Hero Among Us program? And will the Contrarian strike again? Back to you, Derek. Everyone stares at each other. You're pretty sure they share the same concern. A bombing just happens to take place in this sleepy little city the same day Spec Community College welcomes its incoming hero students. This can't be good. And what about the brown wig you spotted at the scene? Does that mean the authorities have the wrong description of the bomber? Class registration is surprisingly simple and efficient. 4 courses are required for the fall semester. You look down at your class schedule sheet in your hand. The 4 courses and their professor are listed on your sheet. Hero and Enemy Law and Liability. McCormick, Monday and Wednesday. Basics of Defense. Hedonist, Tuesday and Thursday. Breaking People and Things. Downfall, Monday and Wednesday. Secrets 101, nil, Tuesday and Thursday. As you try to envision what these classes will be like, do you think you'll have a favorite? I think breaking class sounds exciting, but for me it's about the teacher. And your class schedule contains one more piece of information. A small typed attachment stapled to your schedule explains a new development. Classes are right around the corner. Should most of you don't know your classmates, I thought I'd whip up a few study groups to make sure everyone has the support they need. And since you just finished competing against another team of students in Capture the Flag, I said to myself, Meg, why not team those students up? You can go from adversaries to the best of friends just like that. In case you forgot your teams, study groups are as follows. Team A and C, Team B and H, Team D and F, Teams E and G. Take advantage of the next few days and get to meet your classmates, especially your new study buddies. Dean Meg Tolley. What do you think of these 4 study groups? I mean, I like this idea. I like my group, and Team H might not be that bad. Plus, I don't have to worry about finding study partners. The days after orientation pass in a blur. You're constantly meeting new classmates, a few of whom even live in your building. You speak with the students from Team H and start to learn to put the names with the masks. The stocky guy with the green cloak and nimble feet is Crook. He seems to be a bit older than most of the other students, perhaps in his late 20s or early 30s. He can make temporary portals through solid objects. Mob is the skinny guy with crazy hair whose stunner manhandled. Although it didn't show it, Mob apparently possesses low-level super strength, not sufficient to gain entry into Savior or Prestige, but enough to make him one of the more formidable students in the Spec program, at least on paper. Origami is a short girl who can turn paper thin. In her normal form, she's rather awkward, with gangly legs and a crooked smile, but in her paper thin form, she's fluid and graceful, moving through the air as if no cares in the world. Origami seems younger than the other students, but she insists she's 19 years old, explaining, I have what my mom calls a baby face. She tells me to be grateful for having her genes, but it's super annoying that people treat me like a kid sometimes. Ugh. You've heard Origami can fold herself into incredibly intricate paper shapes, but you didn't see any evidence of that during Capture the Flag. You bump into her one afternoon at the Spec bookstore. She's lugging a heavy plastic basket, overflowing with textbooks, pens, notebook paper, and other school supplies. Although some of her face is hidden by her mask, her grrr expression as she tugs in the basket screams youthful exuberance. Instead of her normal robes, she's wearing a red and white baseball tee, denim shorts, and beat-up old canvas sneakers. Origami tilts her head. Hey, I was wondering, I've been doing a little volunteer work since I got here a few weeks ago, and, well, I could use some help. She grunts, finally setting her heavy basket on the floor. Meet up with me tomorrow at 10 and I'll introduce you to everyone. You meet Origami at the Central Nebraska Children's Hospital in downtown Spec. She wears her standard white uniform and greets you with a small smile. I used to volunteer at hospital like this back home, she says, failing to mention where home is. Your classmate leads you to the volunteer coordinator's desk and greets the elderly lady stationed there with a hug. The older woman, introducing herself as Mrs. Greenup, gently chides your classmate. The children love having you here, Origami, but how are you supposed to learn to fight those, you know, villains if you spend all your time here with us? Origami leans in to hug Mrs. Greenup. The villains aren't so tough, and the kiddos are excited about getting a new playroom. And until then, I'll try to bring entertainment once in a while. She motions to you, starting with this one. As you navigate the maze of elevators, double doors, and stairwell hallways, Origami fills you in about her special project. Pinching her nose to block the overpowering antiseptic odor as you near the pediatric wing, she explains, the current playroom is kind of, well, it's kind of sucky. The walls are all faded and the toys are beaten up. I'm talking with Dean Tolley about our school raising money for it. She said she would strongly considering it. That means it's like a sure thing, right? Ooh. The next few hours involve Origami relentlessly entertaining children in the pediatric cardiovascular wing. She sticks herself to one of the bright yellow walls and calls herself a talking poster. She folds herself into the most aerodynamic paper airplane imaginable and lets the kids take turns tossing her across the playroom. For her grand finale, she flattens herself again and sticks her thumb into her mouth, blowing hard and popping herself into a three-dimensional shape. The room fills with cackles and shrieks and repeated requests of again, again! The kids quickly warm up to you as well. Some of the young, bedridden patients just stare in amazement at your street clothes, while the most energetic children joke with you and point to your domino mask, asking questions like, are you burnt up under that? As you're getting ready to leave, someone tugs downward on your arm. You turn and see a little boy wearing blue glasses and a gold and black Mega Cat baseball cap. Only, he doesn't look like a little boy. He's the face of a 75-year-old man with bulging eyes and a few wisps of hair escaping from his cap. But there's a twinkle in his eye and a wide, enthusiastic smile that contradicts the wrinkles. You're looking at a young boy, probably 10 or 11 years old. His voice is thin and high-pitched, almost squeaky. You've seen children like this before on television. Children with progeria. I believe I'm saying that right. I'm Jacob. Your pink and black outfit's super cool, he says matter-of-factly, his half-unbuttoned striped pajamas revealing purple veins running down his chest. How do you respond? There's brooding. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the. I don't want to do a picture and autograph. That makes, I don't know, that feels a little pretentious. Oh, but we can, pose for a photo with him. Well, yeah, because I want to give him a memory that he can keep. Jacob puffs his chest as the staff takes photos. Using his best hero voice, he warns villains. Stay out of spec! Casual justice is here now! Aw, Jacob. Jacob stays within arm's length of you for the next few minutes, disappearing only once for 30 seconds and quickly returning to your side. He asks you a barrage of questions about your uniform, your hero name, your equipment, and the reasons you came to spec. Tugging on your arm again, he asks, Casual justice? Would you win if you fought a tiger, a lion, and a bear all at the same time? And the animals all had armor like Mega Cat? Before you can formulate an answer, a tired-looking woman with sad gray eyes asks to pull you aside. She looks down at Jacob and says, Honey, let me talk to your friend here for a minute. The woman shakes your hand. I'm Darlene Pitts, Jacob's mother. She sighs slowly and takes a hard look at you. A few minutes ago, Jacob asked me if you were coming to visit him again. I didn't know what to tell him. She pauses again and folds her arms against her chest, rubbing her upper arms. We don't have much time left with Jacob. I know he was energetic today, but he'll probably crash for the next day or two. His heart is giving out. The doctors told us it's a matter of months, maybe a year. She swallows hard and reaches to touch across around her neck. I'm sorry for telling you all of this. It's just that I want him to be happy and enjoy the time he has left. If you wanted to keep visiting him, we would be eternally grateful. She releases the cross and bites her lower lip before finishing her thoughts. All I ask is that you finish what you start. If you promise to show up, then please don't let him down. You swallow hard. It will be very difficult to say no, considering the circumstances. But you have to consider your other responsibilities. How much will visiting Jacob impact your studies? What are you going to tell her? Oh. Ooh. Either I can visit him as often as I can, only on weekends. I'd like to say yes, but I need to focus on school. I can try to visit on weekends. I'm going to, at minimum, want to visit on the weekends. But you never get to actually answer the question. Before any words escape your lips, Origami spirals over your head and pats Mrs. Pitts on the shoulder, assuring her, "Of course we will. Nothing will make us happier." It seems she just made the decision for the both of you. The Spec Gazette ends up running a small human interest story about your visit. You especially like the one line of the article. The clean-cut young hero student known as Casual Justice, accompanied by a classmate named Origami, raised the spirits of some very sick children. Look at that. Ooh, clean-cut young hero student? Oh, they know me. The writer also quotes Mrs. Pitts in the story, and she gushes about how much Jacob anticipates your next meeting. I know some folks were nervous about the new school, but if they're all as gracious as Casual Justice, then we've truly been blessed as a community. Not everyone would take the time to get to know a little boy like Jacob. It means so very much to our family. Earning the good graces of Gazette readers certainly doesn't hurt your fledgling hero career. However, you're acutely aware of how much it would devastate Jacob if you don't keep Origami's promise. You and Crook have some time to hang out at the Hero Hall Student Lounge the Thursday before classes start. He lounges on a sofa, hands folded across his stomach, his fingertips tracing over the handle of one of his throwing knives. His boots hang over the armrests. He seems to be adapting well to the life of Spec. Others may not be adapting so well to him. Opinions about Crook are certainly mixed. Some students feel he's too bossy and unwilling to listen, perhaps because he's older than most others. Others seem drawn to his rather mysterious aura of confidence. Maybe it's that constant smirk on his face. It attracts some people while repelling others. If you're still here, that is the description for you, Ronan. Yeah, I'm talking to you. That is you. You are Crook. You're welcome. So do you strike up conversation with him? Yeah, why not? I'll chat with him. I love the first response. Says I arch my brow, flirting a bit as I comment oh so innocently. So I hear that you're super experienced. Sorry, Crook's not my type. Yeah, we'll find out why you chose Spec. I am curious. You thought you were asking a simple question, but Crook hesitates a good 10 seconds before responding. Finally, he just says, "It was something I needed to do." He slowly rolls over on his side, facing you. "Okay, Casual Justice, I'm curious. Who do you think is the toughest student? Like, the one most likely to get into Prestige or Savior in a couple of years?" He adds, "Just between you and me. I won't tell anyone." So my options are Stunner, Tress, Crook, Origami, Dirty Girl, Mob, Combat Wombat, myself, the Narwhal, or Unicorn Girl, or decline to answer. Tress has the telekinetic hair, Crook can go through portals, Origami can fold in the paper, Dirty Girl makes dirty bombs, Mob apparently has super strength, Combat Wombat is in a power armor, I'm Batman without 127 forms of martial arts. I think Stunner. Stunner's powers seemed pretty dope at the Capture the Flag, and he seemed the strongest out of everyone. Crook is a close second because teleporting, but like, I don't know. Crook seems like he wouldn't like step into line, and that's what I feel like Prestige and Savior schools are about. So we're gonna go with Stunner as who I think is. Yeah, I'd figured you say. Most would. He's definitely near the top, but he's not number one. He leans in closer, nods knowingly. Stoic. She's easily the most powerful person here. It's not even close. Stoic did literally take a stunner clap to the face and then literally shrug and ask him if he was done. That's pretty badass. Slowly you adapt to your new home. Every day you see custom students wandering around the city, shopping at the grocery, and basically doing the things regular people do. Of course, the Nebraska legislature and the Spec City Council have passed dozens of state and local laws governing a hero student's behavior. You vaguely remember a summary of the laws being attached with your acceptance letter, but you definitely need to read up on those to stay out of trouble. You spot your Team B teammate Tress in the ethnic foods aisle of the supermarket. She's attracted quite a bit of attention from several elderly male shoppers who are fawning all over her. Her plastic smile reveals that she's tiring of their company, but unwilling to hurt their feelings. She turns in your direction and spots you while gingerly repositioning her shopping cart among her senior citizen groupies. She grins and frantically waves you over. As you approach, you're greeted with denture smiles, thick glasses, and those hats only old men wear. Apparently, they're just as smitten with you as they are with Tress. Eventually, Tress gently shoos them away. Your redhead classmate exhales in relief. Whew, thanks. I didn't expect to be ambushed like that. Who knew older guys frequented the Indian food aisle? Her hair slowly elongates, gently wrapping around a can of chickpeas and plucking it from the shelf. Hey, we didn't really get to talk much during the flag thing. Want to come over for dinner tonight? I'm making chana masala. She emphasizes the last A sounds and uses her hair to waggle the can of chickpeas to make her offer more inviting. What do you say? Yeah. Small, that sounds great. I like making friends. Tress gives you her address and says, "See you tonight," as she continues her shopping. As it turns out, Tress lives in a stylishly decorated apartment just 2 blocks from your building. Apparently, she really likes owls. You notice a brightly colored owl painting in the living room, a ceramic owl candle holder on the shelf, a stuffed owl pillow on the sofa. You've arrived on time, but she's still struggling in the kitchen, so your conversation starts there. You notice she's employing conventional cooking methods, no use of hair, as she prepares dinner. So, casual justice. Are you worried about classes starting? I mean, are you nervous at all? How do you respond? I'm honest. I'm anxious, but I'm confident I'll do fine. Sorry I was in the other room, but I heard you and well agreed. As long as you heard me, and that's what matters. As long as you hear what describes you, that's what we're here for. Tress grins. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I'm sure you'll do fine, too. Your classmate leaves you to your thoughts as her focus shifts to the bubbling pan on the stovetop. She squints at a recipe she has left too close to the pan. Stains cover much of the writing. You have time to think about your expectations for the evening. How do you hope for the night to turn out? Make a friend, learn about our abilities, being attracted. I mean, I'm attracted, but I'm not going to make a move. I'm a sucker for someone with telekinetic powers with their hair. When dinner is finally served, it doesn't take a television cooking show to recognize that Tress has horribly miscalculated the spice measurements. You struggle through the meal, gulping 4 glasses of water and wiping your brow as discreetly as possible. Tress builds up the courage to ask, "So what do you think?" "It's the first time I've made it." I'm not even gonna I think I was gonna be honest, but I can either joke and say I want to use the restroom, which I feel like is too mean. I'm not gonna lie and say it's great. I'm gonna just try to dodge the question, I guess. Tress smiles and starts clearing the table. Nice dodge there. After putting away the dishes, Tress snatches a bottle of Merlot with her hair and slips onto the living room sofa. Her control over each strand allows her to complete the most nuanced tasks with ease. She turns the corkscrew and pours the bottle without spilling a single drop. Tress reaches down to the coffee table and takes a glass, handing it to you. "So, what do you want to talk about?" How do you respond? "This is my moment to make a lasting impression." Nah. Time to make my move? Definitely not. I'm interested in Tress only as a friend, so I smile. Let's start learning more about you. Take a long sip. Ooh, okay, so I feel like it's too soon to try to do any flirting. But I'm not trying to flirt. But I would like her to know I'm interested, but I also don't want to make it weird. Ooh, no. Alright, I'm gonna do it. No. The dice. I'm either going to make a lasting impression or I'm gonna make a joke. Lasting impression it is. Tress's immediate grin confirms that you hit exactly the right note. You spend hours spinning wine and exchanging stories, all the while making sure not to violate any of Speck's privacy rules. The evening ends in a soft kiss and a promise of another date. If only casual could be as smooth as casual justice. You're still thinking about your evening with Tress when you bump into Stunner at the Speck gym. He may tend to focus on himself, but his jerk meter is dialed down considerably from its level during Capture the Flag. He's wearing his gold helmet with visor paired with a tank top and shorts. You wear your domino mask with casual, workout clothes, having left your uniform and equipment in the locker room. I was this close to getting into Prestige, he laments, stretching out on a bench in the gym lobby and reaching out to grab his Prestige University travel mug. They said I'm still on the waiting list, and I might even get a call this semester if one of their students doesn't show up or gets hurt or whatever. So no offense to this place. I mean, it's okay and all, but if I get the call, I'm out of here. He sits up straighter, a bead of sweat trickling down his arm. Did I tell you I actually met Megacat? That dude is intense, I tell you. Didn't say a word, but just sat in on my interview. Dude's intimidating as hell, no lie. He just sits there with his arms crossed, looking at you like he's ready to come across a table and whip your ass. Are you jealous that Stunner was able to meet the world's famous hero? Nah, because he earned it. The opportunity to speak presents itself as Stunner takes a long swig from his travel mug. What do you say? Fighting crime versus state competition. Care for a workout party? I grin and lightly trace my fingers over his arm. It's an option. And Stunner's pretty chill. So we're going to see what happens. Stunner pauses. Then his lips curl upward. Yeah, I think that could be arranged. Come on. Stunner introduces you to the second half of his daily 90-minute workout, demonstrating overhead presses, barbell curls, and side raises. His hands gently guide your arms to ensure proper form, although they seem to linger longer than strictly necessary. It's finally Monday. You wake up 4 hours early after a night of fitful tossing and turning. While packing your notepad and pencils and few other supplies, you can't help but ponder how life at Speck is so low-tech. Something about Dean Tolley wanting to protect students' privacy from cyber attacks. Also, Tolley worries that students could easily be identified if they use technology without sufficient firewalls and other protections. Students are allowed to use Speck's computer lab as well as their Speck-issued dumb phones, but use of other technology is strictly prohibited. Anyway, you examine your schedule and confirm your first class starts at 9 a.m. in room 102 in Heroes Hall. Hero and Enemy Law and Liability. How hard can that be? And I want to give a thanks to Kalav. Thank you for the follow and welcome to the casual community. We are currently doing a reading/playing Community College Hero Trial by Fire, written by Eric Moser, that you can play on Choice of Games. I'm dropping the description stuff in the chat. You can check that out. It's so far pretty good. We are Casual Justice, a non-powered superhero who is attending Speck Community College, which has been so far very enticing. And I see that Noble Nerd is also in here. If you came in early, I'm sorry for not noticing, but welcome Noble Nerd, and obviously welcome Collab as we move forward into this. I'm trying to see if we make it to the next chapter before... Wow, the timing on that. That is the conclusion of issue 1. We are entering issue 2. But I that's a perfect point to kind of ease off into that. So we have just finished issue 1 of apparently of 12 for Community College Hero. Specifically, Trial by Fire is issue 1 through 4. Quick recap for those that are kind of coming in towards the end. We ended up, so we are, Jordan Campbell is the character we're playing, who is Jordan. I love the casual that is you, and I love the collab that is you. I guess is how we're doing that. But seriously, I appreciate everyone that's coming in and everyone that's been here. So we are during the Cold War, they put up these shields to protect from the possible nukes that were coming in. These shields caused, I guess, some sort of radiation that gave people, the young people, powers. And that's when I was a kid. So as everybody got older, people had powers. I didn't. But superheroes are now real. And it's set sometime, I guess, maybe in the last 5-10 years ago, maybe, give or take. And we are now we applied to try to go to, we would want to go to Prestige University, which was the first hero college located in New York. Then there is the Xavier School, which is the one located in San Francisco, which was made after Prestige to include people of not so superhero powers. Like, there's a grade 1 through 10 on the rating, which I think I can actually look at that on here. Resources? Yes. So there's grade 1 through 10 on power scales, and I guess 7 through 10? Nope, 6, 5. You need a grade 5 or higher to get into Prestige University, which means you could fight 80 people, and usually is like you can beat 80 people in a fight. Then you have Xavier School in San Francisco, which is a grade 3, meaning that you can beat about 20 people in a fight. And then Spec Community College accept heroes that are grade 1 or higher, meaning you could beat about 5 people. But they're accepting specifically Zeniths, which is the term for the superheroes, or Z people. You or us, we are not an individual powers. We just wish we could always be a hero, and we got accepted on a scholarship as the Hero Among Us program. There's been some hints that our one of our parents was a grade C villain, meaning we were raised by a villain, which is an interesting twist, which we'll probably get to know more in the following issues. We met some great friends. Tress, who has telekinetic hair. We have Stunner that can make shockwaves by clapping his hands. Crook can make portals. Origami can fold herself. There's a Narwhal. We have Mob that has super strength, but we have no idea how it works, I guess, yet. We also have Stoic, who can survive a shockwave to the face, whatever that means. And then Dirty Girl, who can make smoke bombs. I think that's the gist of... Oh, and then Combat Wombat is someone else we've been introduced to that wears a battle armor. We have a few other important heroes, like Hedonist is a professor, Nil, Professor McCormick, Downfall, and Dean Tolley. And while this is all happening, we arrived in Spec on our first day of orientation. There was basically a terrorist attack by an individual calling himself the Contrarian, which has been attributed to be a villain against the heroes, because heroes showed up in this small town. They're starting to blame the heroes on that. And the next time we pick this up, we will be starting our first day of official classes after making friends. We ended up having a date with Tress. We had dinner together and it ended with a kiss. And then we went to go work out with Stunner. And Stunner helped us work out a little more intense than normal. Not too far, just a little intense in the workout. So that was some juicy stuff on that. Return to the game. And we'll be picking up on issue number 2, Things Heat Up, when we get into that next week. So let me switch over my screen. So this is where we are at in Things and Stuff. Updating some things and stuff on my stuff and things. We ended up doing some great casually reading. Hopefully you guys like that. I think what I want to do is at least once a week, I would like to read these and / play these games with you. If I enjoy reading, helps me get better at making voices, helps me expand my thoughts, my imagination, and I get to share a gameplay experience that nobody really does on Twitch. Everyone plays video games, but no one plays reading games, so that's where we're at. We don't have anything going on tomorrow, so I don't expect to hop on stream tomorrow. Probably doing some more tests. At least that's how I'm remembering how my schedule is looking. Tuesday I got nothing going on, but I will be updating my Patreon, putting out some more content from my Deep Breath RPG, where I'm doing, making my own TTRPG. I'm super excited about. You can always check out my Patreon, which you can check out in the panel below on my Twitch, which can show you the Patreon. Even if you just want to look at some of the snippets and see if you're interested, you can also join us on the Discord to join in conversations and stuff. I will be updating my Discord as well. So what's going to happen is Patreon gets everything about when I put it out. Then roughly about a month later, Discord will probably start getting those rollouts as well. We are about a week away from the 30 days since I made my Patreon, so we're about to start getting those coming in real soon. Then Wednesday I'll be hopping into some wonderful world building at 4 o'clock. All times are in Pacific time. We're world building where we're going to do some more work in building Deep Breath. And also, I have an opportunity to write an adventure for another TTRPG. I'm going to be coordinating with them, so I may be doing either some Deep Breath and then to switch my brain to work on that as well. Thursday is going to be an open day as well, so there's nothing going to be happening on that day for me. And then Friday will be the Deep Breath RPG one-shot that I'm super excited to do. It is the first official playtest and a first official stream that I will be running of my content on my channel with some amazing people. I'll be having Utahime cosplay. I'll be having Queer Venture Time. Renee, who's part of the one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. I'm going to have Taryn Hackett, better known as Val Rook. And for Fox's sake, I'm going to have Ronan Fox as well. Doesn't get a lot of camera time as a player, so I'm excited to have that. It's going to be a very anime-esque experience as they dive into the peril of Period. It's going to be a great time on that, and I'm excited to do that. The content that you will see in that is in collaboration with Dragon Rock RPG Design. They have been amazing people to help me make what I have here, and they are beautiful people making 5e supplements and other stuff if you ask them nicely. They make subclasses, classes, races, adventures, just whatever you need, they can do it. So if you have an idea that you want to see brought to life that you could bring to your table, you should contact them. And if you're not sure if you want to, have them work on your stuff, you can also check out on DM's Guild. It's called Icons of Horror, where they took some of your favorite horror hero. I call them horror heroes. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. I can never remember all the horrors because I'm terrible at remembering things. But they have all these, the big baddies are made into playable classes and subclasses for you to enjoy and experience. I will say one of them is if I remember, a barbarian-esque based off Michael Myers that just won't go down. And if they do certain things, they can cause other people to be frightened just because of the fact that they won't go down. They really know what they're doing. They are amazing people. When you have both Renee and the Dragon Bar Daniel together, they are a superhero duo. Not as good as Casual Justice, but they're great, amazing people that do great, amazing things. And then I do have a special surprise that I will be releasing on the following Saturday. I wasn't going to stream it, but I think once the one shot's over, I will stream it. I don't know what time I'm going to do it. That's the only challenge I'm having now. But you can check on my Discord. I'll try to update that on what I'm doing then. But I'll also announce it that Friday and what's happening. Then the following week, we won't have another RPG game. And then the week after, there's another one. Haven't announced yet, but you'll be able to see that. So I believe, is D'Angelo up yet? I want to kind of rate him, but only if he's on. If he's not on, I don't want to. I got to make sure he's on. It just started? Perfect. That's what I was waiting for. So we are going to, I just recently learned how to raid, guys. It's amazing. It's taking a moment for his stuff to boot up. Yeah, so it's starting, it's doing their loading, so I'm going to take a moment to talk about it. He'll talk about it as well. So what D'Angelo will do of Geek Life, he is doing homies helping homies. The idea is when we do our tabletop performing, We work really hard to give everyone the best entertainment possible, but on the back end, we're trying to build our own stuff, our own brand, our own projects. We're working on building us. So the idea that has been brought forward that we're all doing in different ways, that D'Angelo is basically going to be not the pioneer, but he is the first one of our, what we call our collective group, to push it. Basically, you donate money to help change the game how you feel, and that money is then put into the tip jar. At the end of their session, that tip jar is split among the participants, performers, so that each person is getting paid for their time, so they can take that and build something better. Because the idea is when we work together, we collaborate. We want to help each other grow. So if we can support each other, then it's easier to support each other. So I will be doing the same thing on my streams, and let's make sure this raid things button works. Yes, we are set up to raid that, making sure it's connecting. I'm always worried about it not working because I don't Twitch as much as I should. Yes, it says we will be raiding. So, head over there, make sure those that aren't following him, give him a follow. And then those who aren't, tell him that Casual had a great time reading. He was here at some point, so I appreciate it. We're going to head over there, have a good time, have a fun time. Don't forget to head over to the Discord. We're going to have a lot of things going on. We're going to have fun because we're awesome and I love all of you. And I just want you to love yourself too. Life's hard as it is. Do what you can to spread love and nothing but love. And if you feel like you need some love, let me know. I'm here to listen. I'm here to talk. I'm here to make sure that we all grow and we all feel safe and happy in our life. And that's what it's all about, right? We just want to make sure we're all good people having a good time. But I mean, I can rant, I can preach all day. Let's just leave it at this, because above all else, stay casual.
All right. Now we should be